life in the city. It comes at you at 1,000 meters a second. According to a recent study, the average city dweller is subjected to over 60,000 forms of stimuli on any given day. That much information beamed into your brain, it's not surprising that some people can react a little differently. Desmond Flay, known as Des to his friends and family, was by all accounts a quiet and respectful young man, which made his actions on March 8, 2938 even more surprising. It was described as a joyride like no other. A high-speed chase in the skies that covered several hundred miles of dense urban airspace. Within an hour, he had thousands of adoring fans who watched the authorities scramble to catch him. But Des saved his best surprise for last. When captured, local police asked why he did it. Des reportedly took a look around, smiled, and said, "I just wanted some peace and quiet."
Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Vance here, and welcome to a ship review. Now today, we are taking a look at the new reworked Avenger. Now I've pulled out this Stalker because we can look at the pods that go in the back as well for storing your prisoners at the same time. These were an issue in the previous Avenger. Getting in was ridiculously tight, and they've made some significant improvements inside now. Okay. Obvious difference here is the material. I really like what they've done here. I think this is probably the closest to what a spaceship in this century anyway would probably look like. Purely, I suppose, the shape, otherwise known as the Space Penguin, if you want to call it that. I like the material they've got on it. I think it looks really, really nice. It's almost like a material, isn't it? To withstand some heat. And you can see that on the wingtips there, they've got it all on the wingtips. It does stop for a very small section under here. And then it continues all along here as well, look, but in a black colour. All the way going down to the back as well. So, materials look good. It's a definite upgrade on the previous. Now it is bigger in all ways, believe it or not. Purely on the basis before, it wasn't really functionable inside really. It was just a bit of a pain to manoeuvre yourself inside, particularly if there's two people inside. Front looks really nice. This flies really well in the PU at the moment. It's probably one of the better ships for flying around doing missions, purely because of the speed and the acceleration that it's got. It's got a good combination of speed in atmospheric as well. It just gives you the ability to get your target quite quickly. So, weapon on the front, Gatling, no changes there. Obviously a lot of these weapons have had been remodelled now. We're getting to the point where most of the ships have modelled guns now, rather than the placeholders. Amazing detail on here. You can see the belt there for the bullets. Once again, this is a fantastic gun. Downside being obviously you're depleting ammo over energy. But I would pick this one all day long, personally, because this just tears ships apart at the moment. Once we get a better and true armour in Star Citizen, then I should imagine that maybe this won't be as good. The lighting looks amazing, doesn't it? Weapons under the arm there. One thing they need to work on, that I'm going to do a little report on the cancel, is the OLEDs on the legs. I'll show what I mean. I'll come down like this. Now, first of all, you can see that the wheel is square. Well, not a square. I don't know what that shape is. Lots of flat sides, but if I get closer, you should see the whole thing change in a minute. There we go. You just saw it there. Look. And things start loading in when you get closer. It does go rounder, and it does go totally round. Just needs a little bit of adjusting. As you can see, I mean, if you look from over here, you know, the landing legs looks pretty impressive. You're probably actually not even loading it incorrectly, and then when you get closer, fortunately you have to get a little bit too close before the rest of it loads in. So small adjustment there, but when you do get this close, it looks absolutely amazing, doesn't it? Even the detail inside as well is quite impressive. Weapons on the arms. Same on the other side. Following through with this sort of material. This is a new thing. It's the only ship that's got this sort of material. The Mustang Delta had this sort of SIM card material on it. Upgraded armour on it quite a while ago. And then once again the landing legs are going to do the same thing here, aren't they? Very detailed. Small adjustment there for them. This is one of the very few ships to have curves, if that makes any sense. A lot of the other ships are quite flat-sided. This one's very curvy, should I say. Some really cool lights on it as well. It's got lights on the rear here, on the little wing tips here, look. And a little light up the top there, lighting up the logo. And it's got some more at the front here as well on these wing tips here. Just sets it off and makes it look nice. There are some other lights over here as well. They don't really serve a massive purpose. They will give you some ambient light when you're on a planet in the dark, I found. Would have been nice to have maybe a nose light as well. Landing gear on the back's pretty heavy, really, isn't it? What I mean is 2 wheels. It probably could have just done with the 1, really. I suppose if you're carrying cargo, then the weight might be a little bit higher. And it's got these little folded wing pieces as well, like if you look from this side. Actually, that's a really nice profile, isn't it? It's a really nice looking ship, isn't it? Flies fantastically as well. And then we've got the engines. We can jump over here and have a look. You can see there. Really nice. And then let's take a look inside. Lots of changes in here. Mainly to do with the height, clearly. This is all new. All these pods are new. Pods before were, I'm going to say, unusable. I'm not really sure how they were ever going to work. 2-piece door there as well. Piece that folds up. Can we see that from the outside? Maybe just gives you a little bit of extra access. I imagine they kept some of the design cues from the, let's call it the V1. And you'll find that now, if I stand here now and press F4, there's enough room for a van door in here, isn't there? I don't know if you get him inside one of them though, would you? Probably not, no. But I mean, let's just say I'm 6'2" with the helmet on, land door 9 feet tall, they probably could walk in here. Which is probably not a good thing, really, is it? If a van door's on your ship, then it's not going well in general, is it? Let's have a look around. A lot of stuff just been tidied up. Now we can actually jump in these as well. And I'll show you. Just about see the head height here. It's quite a bit. So there's definitely a couple of inches above my head, which makes total sense. And if I close the door, loads of room. Look, you could probably get 2 people in here. Probably easy, actually, couldn't you? Little window. And clearly, once you're locked in here, there won't be an open button, because that'd be a bit daft, wouldn't it? But I did notice this. Look at these blooming locks, look. Same thing you get on a safe, isn't it? Good luck trying to get out of there, eh? Close button actually just sits up here, just there normally, but you can press it around the doors. These will be removable as well. Now clearly if this was the cargo one you wouldn't have these here. Lovely detail on the floor there. They've used lots of new materials in this one. Particularly even that little steel plate in there, that checkered plating. We've seen glass, we've seen, you know, transparent, different materials here. This is pretty cool. If you look when I walk close, watch the step. And just to help you up. Now the previous Avenger, this door was ridiculously tight. You had a duct going in here, it was just ridiculous. Now looking at it in front of you, you think, oh, it looks the same, but if I go into this view, and you see what I mean, there's actually loads of room, look. I've probably got at least 1.5 foot above my head there. Lots of room, no more ducking. There is a slight ducking point in this second door going through. It's only for a little short second, but I'll show you. These little windows you got up here as well, showing all the piping and so on. Storage. Weird button down there. That almost looks like some sort of cord, doesn't it? Can't interact with any of this stuff yet. This will have modules, clearly, later on down the line. And no doubt these doors will open as well. This will probably be status of the pods. There's another one of them screens here, actually, look, up there, look. So that'll probably give you the status on the pods as well. Bed as well for sleeping. Clearly you can save in this one. And a little ducking point. I know it's only for a second, but I'm going to show you anyway. Because before this was a really, really tight. Now I'd say this door is smaller than the previous door we've just gone through, and you see what I mean? Look. This ducks here, look. I know it's only a fraction, and then he walks through and he stands up. And once he's in here, he's fine. I say he, me. Everything's quite smooth though. Well put together. A couple of little doors in here, there's little roller shutters here, and there's this thing as well, which looks like that's going to open as well. Probably need to have, my only thing I probably would change in this is between here and this door here, I think there should be open door button rather than these, you know, walk close and they just open. Oh, that might cause a problem with that little step thing, mightn't it? It's your airlock, isn't it? Everything's just pretty solid, isn't it, really? Well put together. Moving up front. Have a look around the back here before we jump in. Some sort of canisters there. Good thing about this one as well, if you take one of your friends with you and you're doing a joint mission, at least he can stand behind you and have a look around. He can give you some visual prompts actually, can't he? Because you can see up here where the pilot can't see. Extra set of eyes, eh? That's probably just to tell you the status is on the pods as well. In this case. Now that could be pods or cargo depending on how you set up. In the seat. Quite impressed with this. I've always been impressed with the Avenger layout. It's just got it right, isn't it? You know, Star Citizen has 2 layers of UI. It has a sort of fixed UI, this UI that moves my head, target, and then it has sort of a UI here, which is this section, and then it has this section here, you know, which you can interact with. Now some of the ships have a frame that go around the edge, and the frame might sit, let's just say it was arched like this, right? So when you're looking forward, your head moving UI, the one that moves with your head, is overlaying on the frame, and it can be a little bit difficult to see. So the big advantage with this ship is to see the UIs with no overlay. I mean, even if, look, if you move your head up here, look, See what I mean? Hardly at no point, only about here really. Just really clear, you know, no posts in the way. It's fantastic, really, really good. This is why this ship's so popular, and once again, it just flies fantastically, and the Gatling gun's good. It's just an all-round fantastic ship. It gets better when you start clicking on the buttons with this, because most of the ships you get in and you're like, oh, where's the bloody button? And you look around here, and yeah, you can, there's some hotkeys you can press, but I like interacting with the buttons, you know, press it. And with this, it's just so easy. All the buttons are quite intuitive, you know what I mean? Where you're sort of where they're expected to be. You can quite easily do things in here. You're not sort of moving too far neither. You're moving a really small bit and away you go. I don't know why my man's shaking. I think he's been drinking too much. Still got my pilot's license. Got an eject as well. We won't be trying that again. Looks nice though, doesn't it? Everything looks nice and clean. In the centre view you can just about see the displays, but most of the displays you probably want to be seeing are the ones on the screen anyway. And you can just look down a little bit. This one's a little bit far down, but it's not the end of the world. You have to make sure that this is set up before you leave, and maybe bind a different profile into a key or something so you don't have to go into full panic mode. I'm already in flight ready mode. So what we can do, we'll just have a look at the exterior. We'll put the landing gear down so you can see the animations of this as well. Probably better off coming from this sort of angle. Let's have a look at the landing gear. Really nicely done. Nice looking ship as well. Overall, just really impressed with this, and I think the acceleration speed just really complements the ship as well. When you're accelerating, it's just really quick. Even through the boost phase, it's really, really quick. Normally, in most of the other ships, it would take you quite some time to get to your maximum boost speed, but this is fantastic. Let me know in the comments what you think about the reworked Avenger. Now, overall, I think it's a definite upgrade for the people that got it. It just looks absolutely fantastic now. They've just made a really good ship. Absolutely amazing. It's almost like if you've got lots of other ships as well, it's almost one for the collection books. It's quite an iconic little ship in Star Citizen. So, that's it from me, guys. The last thing on the agenda today, if you're looking to join a Star Citizen organisation, or you just want to come and hang out and chat about Star Citizen, check out the link in the description below. That's it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.